So we probably don't really need a recap of the last time, but might as well just quickly blast through it. So yeah, mostly the party was hanging out at the Green Griffins, had a bit of a chat with some of the patrons there, or some of the other mercenaries, sent a message to the governor saying basically the city's crazy, do you know anything? And we're waiting a message back from that. Kai and Donda had their plan to go out and...
heroic plan.
Yeah, an incredible plan to go out and make a voyage to the temple, and was stopped by one of the guild members saying that, to chill and try not to bring any attention. Heeding that warning, maybe or maybe not, they went outside, turned into elk. Donda rode the elk through the city, and there was a bit of a chase leading to shenanigans, near deaths, and a escape in the river. You swam to the other side because of Donda's fast swimming magic armor, and Kai's using some teleports, and we're just about to be caught when Donda whipped out his Dust of Disappearance, which he's been holding on to for a while, and vanished just as a guard looked over the side. And they moved on, and you're able to slip away unnoticed. Got back through the rest of the city, and arrived at the temple. At the temple, what happened? So there were some soldiers outside that were sort of patrolling, just making sure that there weren't any big gatherings going on. Pretty clever usage of fog cloud. Were able to obscure your passage, and you snuck around and got inside. And inside you met a cleric who was just tending to the altars, called Lara, who went and fetched the high priest. Kai tried to persuade him to allow him to perform a ceremony, but he was unwilling to do so. He was non-budging on the matter, very concerned of the result of such a matter, because of the Kai's interesting affliction, potentially, or his unknown path that lies before him. However, he did open up a bit more and explain to Kai that there is a path before him, one that he needs to choose how he wants to walk, whether it's in the path of lightness or the path of darkness. And they spoke a little bit about the moonstones as well, and some sort of a prophecy. I'm sure Kai wrote down notes for it.
Yeah.
The priests offered for them to stay the night, and that was roughly it. Back at the Green Griffins, the other three were just relaxing and drinking and completely blissfully unaware of the crazy happenings and near-death occurrences, drinking, and Rio was practicing a bit of archery as they prepare for the morning. So, just going to quickly look back through the notes. Yeah, no, that's good. So what I'll do, if there's anything you guys want to do, the other three that is, over that night, we can start there. Otherwise, if you like, we can start in the morning as you come down and gather in the lower floor of the Green Griffins. So I'll pass that question over to you guys.
Pretty good. I was waiting on information and killing time for our Chimera to get chopped up.
Okay, so you guys want to just sort of meet downstairs?
No, we haven't had a message back yet, have we?
Yeah.
I think we got one. We haven't read it yet.
Yeah, so we can start with that if you like. Why don't we say who's holding on to the stones at this point?
It was either Vale or the bag of holding, wasn't it?
That sounds right.
Okay. So should we say Vale has them?
Yep.
Cool. So then I guess as you wake up in the morning before we even gather, you can take a quick peek at your satchel, open up a box that has the stones inside, and you see that one of them is pulsing slightly. There's a little purple symbol that is just flashing on the base of one of the stones, and you can pull it out, and pressing on the symbol, a voice speaks into your mind, and you recognize immediately to be Governor Talus. And you hear him say, "Indeed, someone broke into the Bastion, tried to assassinate Brado. Wondered if it was you. Very bold if so. Must contact Felnoran as soon as possible." And the message trails off.
I guess I'll shoot one back just to stay in contact. Not us, but potentially allied parties. Pity they missed. Heading on soon, and that'll be end. I feel like you need like the start message, the Morse code end message.
Do the.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that, I guess, shall we say the three of you managed to get downstairs, and down in the basement level, the embers of the fires are just smouldering a little bit. The fire is mostly out. The woman from last night, the purple-skinned tiefling, is actually still down here. Looks like she'd fallen asleep with her head against the wall. And as you come down, she kind of just like nods up and sees you, and just glances in your direction and gives you a little nod. Heads over and starts trying to tend to the fire a bit. You can find a bit of food and a bit of drink this morning, but other than that, it's just the three of you and the tiefling woman. And unless there's anything specific you guys had any intention of doing at this point, I would say, as you are sort of relaxing for the next sort of 15 minutes or so, you can hear the slight patter of rain on the roof outside. It doesn't sound like it's pouring as much as it was last night, but still just a little bit of showers. It's probably 7 or so in the morning, shall we say, 7 or 8. And yeah, after relaxing and just starting to prepare yourselves, you hear a knock on the door outside. Quite a heavy-fisted slamming on the door. What do you do?
Which is the Griffins?
Yep. That's where you are, right?
Yep. I'll keep my feet up. I'm not the doorkeeper.
The tiefling woman just sort of looks up and shrugs and starts to wander over to the door. As she passes by you, she says, "It's a bit strange this time in the morning, isn't it? You don't normally get people knocking coming in here. Oh well, see what they want." She heads over and
Is it a cop knock?
say again?
Is it? I don't know if anyone has had police knock on their door, but police have a very distinctive knock.
Yeah.
They don't knock. They bang the door very loudly.
Sounded like it's pretty loud banging. Yeah. She gets over and she starts to sort of crack open the door, and as she opens it just a little bit, it actually just sort of kicks open. It seems like the people were impatient, and you see now standing silhouetted in the door, as she just starts to back up, and her hand almost instinctively goes over her shoulder to the giant greatsword. A tall, imposing figure, full plate armor, bright red cloak with a plumed helm, and several soldiers behind, all kind of looking around, making sure there's no threats. And this man steps forward and says, "Come forth, who may I speak with, who is an authority of this place?" The woman says, "I guess I'm just here. But look, quiet." He cuts her off. "I'm looking for druids. I'm looking for half-folk magic users. Any of them in here? Speak quickly, or you will face the consequences of the Empire's wrath."
The consequences?
She's like, "Well, does it look like me? Of course not." "Well, go and get someone with whom I can speak." She's like, "All right." And she starts to head off upstairs. What are you all doing at this point?
Is upstairs like the barracks area?
Sleeping quarters.
Yeah. Now I give her a bit of a look. That
Yeah, she gives you quite a concerned look as she goes past as well, like almost a cock of the eyebrow, like not good.
I'll big stretch and say, well, it's probably time for everyone to wake up anyway.
A few moments
Are
pass.
we all down here? Or?
Maybe she'd be waking up people upstairs as well.
Yeah, she's headed up the stairs at this point and passed away, passed up out of your sight. Yeah,
Has the cloaking soldiers stepped inside?
they are inside now. Yeah, and they're like imposing, and they're almost looking like they're getting ready to start tossing the place.
I'll stretch back, feet up on the table, very nonchalant. Must be a bit of shit going on if you're willing to pick a fight with the Griffins.
Is that a threat?
Just a statement. You come in and knock over a Griffin watch house, well, we'll get around. We do a
Yes.
lot of work with backward and forward with the Empire.
Yeah, maybe we've given you free reign for too long.
Well, I mean, you're more than welcome to go out and deal with the monsters out there yourselves. I'm sure it's a useful use of manpower.
No response, his eyes just narrow. Yeah, so the three of you are down here, I assumed. Unless Rio and Erendor, you would think otherwise.
Nope.
Yeah, Rio, Erendor, what are you guys up to at this point? So just
I'm trying to remember what VNS stand for my spells.
verbal and somatic.
Crap, okay. I'm just sitting there, as I normally am, hood up, freaking bandanas on.
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting there with a glass of water, having a drink.
Yeah. All right, well. Some time passes, a couple of minutes or so, and you hear some footsteps coming down the stairs again. Leading the way, you see Guildmaster Porter Hale and a few other people. Vera and Rena from last night you recognize, and T is also following that, T the Tiefling. And as they come down, Porter starts to walk across and pauses for a moment as he takes in the scene and carries on across. And the hand says, "Mr. Hale, it's been some time, hasn't it? Gosh, have you been getting your folk up to mischief? Have you?" And Porter comes along and just says, "Look, Gorath, I haven't got an idea of what you're talking about. Can we just cut to the chase, please?" And he steps forward and smashes his finger into his chest and says, "Last night, two powerful individuals were seen fleeing through the city, causing all sorts of mischief, and killed one soldier. They were a druid and a half-folk magic user. Seemed like exactly the sort of person that would be found around these parts, and it just so happened to be the case that they were seen coming from this direction. And so, as you can imagine, we're here following up leads, and if we find anything, you Griffins, you ought to look out for yourselves. Your time here as independent contractors may be coming soon to an end." Porter's like, "Look, no druids here? When you say half-folk, what do you mean? Druids, dwarves, halflings." And he looks over the shoulder and sees Vera, who was the halfling that you had spoken to last night. And actually, let me just double check that. Yes, Vera Goldfinger, shrewd halfling. He says, "You there, come forth. Let me speak to you." And Vera approaches. She has basically just peasant's clothes. Well, maybe not peasant clothes, but she's not carrying any weapons. She was the finance keeper, the supply keeper of the guild. And the hand says, "Step forth." And one of the other soldiers comes forwards and holds out a wand and starts to sort of just gesture it in her direction. waving it like sort of above her and around her. After a few moments, the soldier looks back at the hand and just shakes his head. Very well. You can go and sit back down. Well, Porter, I'm sure you wouldn't mind us having a quick search through the place, and if we just happen to find anyone that we're looking for, well, maybe we'll take them with us for questioning. Porter just shrugs and says, look, we've got nothing to hide. We're honest contractors, as you know. You've worked with us for many years. Do what you must. And with that, the soldiers start to spread out and start looking around through the rooms. They head upstairs. They just sort of start scanning all parts of the building. You hear a few more people getting woken upstairs. You hear some shouts like, what's going on? And yeah, as this is going on, anything you guys are up to? The hand is remaining downstairs, just keeping an eye on you all.
Got nothing to hide. The last thing I want to do is act suspicious. Just another drunk, arrogant mercenary. Well, not drunk. Well, maybe I am myself. Who knows?
Okay. After 5 or 10 minutes, most of the soldiers have sort of arrived and came back and started mingling again down in the main area. Porter says, well, did you find what you were looking for, Gorath? Well, it's very, very likely that they just haven't returned, so... Alright. Men, out. We will keep looking. And they start heading out. Door closes behind them. And you're left with a few moments of silence after that search.
I'll signal someone over to go and make sure the door's closed.
Yeah, T hurriedly goes in behind the soldiers and closes it. You hear it as a lock turns into place. Porter just slowly turns to look at you.
Oh, both hands up. No fucking idea. Though I do have suspicions. I'm very sorry for bringing this shit to your door.
T comes up beside Porter. You got suspicions? I bloody well told them last night not to get themselves into trouble, and especially not to bring any attention here.
If it helps, I don't trust that little one either.
Porter just puts a hand up to his eyes, just gives him a rub, and sighs a bit. Oh. You can understand the position this has put me in, right?
Yep. Alright, we need to get out of town as fast as possible anyway. I was actually going to find you today and see if you had any jobs heading north.
Jobs north. I could go and look, but...
even if it's not a solid one, just a way for us to get out. A good excuse to leave.
Do we have to head north?
I think so.
Fuck.
Alright. Actually, you know what, Valorant? Why don't you roll a persuasion check for me?
Yep. Not even going to have a presence on this one. I'll just be... Not great, not terrible.
Porter doesn't make a move to go and look for the books. He just says, look, take some time out of town. Let this die down. When you come back, maybe we can talk again. But for now, I think you really just need to get moving.
Yeah, fair. I was just looking for a valid reason to get out the gates. Though they're mostly locking people in, not out, aren't they?
Yeah, so far that's what it seems like, but who knows today. You've still got the tokens, and you may keep them. Just... Needs to be a bit more careful next time.
Plus side, at least, you can see the Empire might be. Let's just say they've got a bit more balls of dealing with the Griffins than just letting us free run. It shows what their current thinking is on their stance on where the guild stand is in the. That's terrible. Fuck, I can't speak. You get what I mean.
I feel you, dude. Yeah. It's an interesting one because we have some force. A lot of our contractors are often just out. They're not often here. However, the Empire doesn't want to have to deal with all these problems that the town folks raise. They don't want to deal with killing chimeras and trolls. If they shut us down very publicly, well, that would just be another thing to add to the pile of things that the people in the city have to complain about, right?
Mm-hmm. It'd be manpower they'd have to delegate to do the jobs.
Yeah.
It would be a reasonable force of well-armed, well-trained individuals no longer under Empire control. But if they're planning on moving, if they're willing to step up like this, and they obviously don't have a lot of respect, or they're planning on dealing with it soon, it might be worth spreading the word quietly that sharpen your blades and be prepared to run.
Indeed.
Because they aren't just going to let you guys walk away.
Indeed. And I can imagine for all of these reasons, the only way that our relationship, well, Tenyo says it has been able to last for this long. Yes. It'll be interesting. It's been a while since I've actually picked up a sword myself, but you never know. All right. Well, anyway, you take what supplies you need for the road and come back in some time. Let this die down.
Yeah. Once again, my apologies, and rest assured, those two will be getting a stern talking to, among other things.
Nods, claps you on the shoulder, and yeah, the others can help you. Vera can come and give you some supplies, rations and stuff like that. As many as you'd like to add onto your sheets, your character sheets, that is. T, just standing all the while, just watching you guys. Hard to read. And you can head out into the rain. So, why don't we do this? I haven't done one of these in a while.
Rainy.
Yeah.
Rainy on Grace, that's a bit hard to say, but rainy.
I think the image, yeah, it's a bit small here. I can zoom it in for you all. There we go. Nice. Cool. So, stepping out into the gentle rain of the street.
With electric lights. Interesting.
No, they're lanterns. They're all candles burning in there.
I need a reload. I see a grey screen.
Yeah, just changing image and backward for me.
Yeah. Give it a quick reload. Can't see anything. Cool. Well.
There we go. That works.
Out on the streets. Let's cut over to the guys themselves, Kai and Donda.
The heroes.
Indeed.
Say that.
Powerful magic user.
Yeah, powerful.
You awake in one of the sort of antechambers inside the temple, inside the High Sept. Several beds around you. One of them filled by someone who is sleeping in a little bit, but most of the other people, the other priests, have gotten up for the day. And as you awake, Kai, you hear... Well, first of all, the very first thing you feel when you wake up, Kai, is an absolutely excruciating burning sensation in your arm, like sort of like down your shoulder and across your bicep. And as you're sort of just like wrestling with this, you hear a whisper over your right shoulder. It says, "Oh, you and your friend caused quite the stir last night. I'm impressed, maybe even a little proud. Such actions do not go unrewarded." And the burning in your arm almost intensifies a little bit to the point where it just feels like you're about to pass out, and then it just ends as abruptly as it started. And with that, you're awake.
That was terrible. Wait a minute. But,
That-
but I
Starting
didn't
to break up a bit.
Oh, my mic was down. Sorry. I wake up and I look at my arm straight away.
Yeah.
I pull back my sleeve.
Yep.
What do I see?
The faint starry symbols that you're very used to are just fading away. It was as if they had activated and then they're now just starting to turn off again. You can clearly see that the dark stars are now fairly far down your arm. You've maybe got like from about your bicep down to your fingertips on your right arm are all bright white and blue stars, and the shoulder and above is all black. But it's fading at this point, just as you're waking up.
Alright, I wipe the sweat from my brow.
Mm-hmm.
And I go and look for Donda.
Yeah. Kai, crack open your character sheet and have a
Yeah.
look at your features. Scroll down to the very bottom.
Oh, it's something new.
You can just read that when you like. But yeah, here you are. You are awake inside the temple. What do you two do?
I find Donda. I go, we made a big ruckus last night. They're going to be looking for people like us. How do we get around this morning? Pretty sure the guard's going to be on high alert.
That's a good question. Can anyone here help us get out?
Not too sure. I might see if we can get maybe some vestments if we dress up like people of the church or the High Sept. It might help. Can I look for Lana or someone?
Lara, yeah. Well, yeah, actually, conveniently, as you guys are in here talking, the door creaks open and in she walks, almost as if you summoned her. She has she's holding like a bundle of items, and she comes over to you two. She's looking a little bit more timid now, actually, and almost fearful. And she says, the soldiers out there are starting to question people more than usual. It sounds like there was an attack last night. And she gives you kind of a penetrating look. I think it's maybe better if you leave, if that's all right. Here, I've got some breakfast for you. And she pulls one of the cloaks back that she's holding, and underneath she's got some bread and some dried fruit. And she also holds up, two quite old-looking sort of cloak, robe-like articles of clothing that a little bit tattered, kind of looks like they would fit in well with the temple itself. Here, you can put these on. Hopefully, it might avoid any attention as you head out.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated. And I don the cloak. The vestments. Are they vestments or it's a cloak?
Yeah, they're sort of like open robes. So you can chuck it up. It's got a hood. Grey.
Right,
There's like some repair patches in some of them. And they hang down to your feet in front.
Alright, I'll add that to my character sheet.
Cool. She will just sort of move the door and hold it open for you.
Alright, I bow to her and begin to leave. I suppose. Yeah.
Cool.
Do you think they'd be looking for someone of my height? How distinctly short am I?
You tell me. You must have put it on the character sheet, I would imagine. Dwarves going to be anywhere from like 3 to 4 feet, probably.
I am a medium dwarf. I don't think we ever put a specific number on it.
I mean, very, very distinctive, I would say, regardless. Like, even if you were tall for a dwarf, it's probably still fairly obvious that stand out in the crowd, unless, potentially a child as well.
I do have a potion of invisibility that'll last for an hour. Wonder if I should take that.
Sure. I could, if I change into a mouse and sit in your pocket, does that count as me being on you?
Oh, I don't think so.
Anything you wear or carry is invisible.
Anything. I don't think a person is a thing.
Yeah, thing, not one.
Not as long as they're
If
alive.
I'm carrying a bag and he's in the bag, he should be invisible within the bag.
Nope, you've not made the bag. The bag's not made invisible itself. Only by proxy.
Well,
Only
If
what?
you kill him and put him in the bag, however,
Oh, and then I become an
Yeah,
item,
but
right?
the contents of the bag are not visible by default. It is the bag that is invisible with me,
yep.
and the bag obscures him regardless.
We'll let the DM do this ruling. If no, I'll think of something else. I'll just turn into a cat. That would work. I can be a cat for an hour.
Yeah.
No, I can't fly. A cat can climb walls. That's fine. 30 feet climb speed. So I can just be a grey tabby cat in the rain. A dark grey cat.
Let's think about this. So,
Oh,
if
Before we go too far on that,
yeah,
diversion into the river aside, how long did it take to get to the temple? Is it
Oh,
now even
yeah.
long enough?
That's gonna be a while.
you'll be pushing it. Yeah. It's
Did they get a long rest out of curiosity? Did they get all their spell slots back?
Not since this happened.
We went to sleep,
It's
so
up to the DM.
That's why I'm
well,
asking if you got a long rest or not. Or did
Yeah.
you get enough sleep?
Assuming you're
We
sort
have-
of waking up at like 7 or 8 in the morning, you should be fine. All right, cool. So here's the thing, right? If Donda were to like piggyback on Kai, and Kai took the potion, then absolutely not. But if you have to use a resource like shape change, and then you can fit inside a deep backpack or something, and then the person took the invisibility potion, your backpack would disappear. Would a mouse just be floating in there? So would that mean if you're like invisible, bugs and stuff are just like, you'd just see bugs moving around? That would kind of make invisibility kind of shit, right? Like if you had like
So what about the rest of his gear that would be in the bag?
So, yeah,
Is that visible now?
anything you're carrying will go invisible.
Items,
So,
yeah,
yeah, all
any
your
item.
stuff. Yeah.
Object, technical term. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can have our shape change into an ant, Donda, and I sit in your pocket. So just an ant floating around in the rain.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would
Oh, in the
allow that
rain.
because it's I don't know. It does seem kind of silly that like something that's fully enclosed, you can't see it. Because you're a mouse or something, you've used a resource to transform into it, and then you all turn invisible. Is it just now a floating thing there? Yeah, I don't know. That seems weird to me.
So now the question is, if it's raining and rain falls on me,
You become you get an
does
outline.
the water of the rain visible, or is the rain also invisible because I'm essentially carrying it?
It
Well,
disappears.
you don't know yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I would think
I, as a player, don't know.
it'd be like a void where the water's disappearing, which is just as visible as.
Yeah. When people are making perception checks to see invisible people, you can roll high enough to be able to see them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But you have to know they're there. Or guess
Potentially,
they're
yeah.
there.
There are a lot of circumstances, but like, yeah, the rain example exactly. A very perceptive person might notice that rain is just stopping in this particular area.
Oh, damn it! I knew I had disguise self. But I haven't learnt it.
Oh,
Is it in
okay.
one of your books?
It's in my Goblin Priestess's spellbook,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Okay, I thought you learned all those spells.
You've learnt like one of those spells. You got like 6 to go or some rubbish, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
All your
I
money
was
needs
meant to be
go into
doing that.
All right. Well. Well.
Right.
So what's the plan then?
I would like to go past the statue on the way out of let's see, what god is it? Is it Eldrin? No, it's not Eldrin Starweek. It's Alaris Moonstone.
Mhm.
And that's where the other moonstone is kept underneath the statue.
Yeah, it's in a glass viewing display cabinet.
I would like to open my bag and see if the two stands resonate with each other as they're close to each other, or if there's any reaction.
Yeah. Roll a what would this be? Yeah, just roll a perception check for me. Thank you.
Just reg.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. So they don't really glow or anything. It's the glass is providing some distance, so you're unsure if they need to be touching or not. But it almost feels like there's a magnetic pull between them, like very, very slight. Anyone else probably wouldn't have noticed it.
It's have to be really close, and something may or may not happen.
Yeah, potentially.
Can I put the stone up to the glass?
Yeah, it's that same thing.
Same thing. So there's a pull. Okay.
You can feel the slightest of pulls. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. I put my stone away. Shall we head out Donda in our shabby cloaks and hopefully
Yes, let's just do the cloaks for now.
and try and blend in with the crowd?
Yeah.
All right.
You can be my father and I am your obese child.
Well, so let's we'll split this journey up into a few sections as we're going across there. It's going to take roughly half an hour to get down the road, and then a couple more sections of half an hour to get to each sort of main causeway. So, in the first one, let me see. Here we go. Yeah, so the first one, there aren't that many people out at this time in the morning. The little bit of rain has convinced a few people to sleep in, maybe. There are a few people just out doing the odd little job, but for the most part, not many. You do see, further on down the street ahead of you, as you're coming down the main Divine Way, there are a couple of soldiers who are at the moment currently accosting what looks to be a halfling man who's just like carrying a box of it looks like glass or something in it, and you can just hear him just kind of protesting like, "What? I didn't do anything. What you doing? What do you want? What do you want?" And he's like, the soldiers just almost push him up against the wall and just give him a good shakedown, checking everything out. One of the soldiers also pulls out a wand and starts waving it around.
I take the potion now.
Okay. Donda vanishes. What are you up to, Kai?
Are there any side streets?
Yeah, plenty.
I'd like to try and do a parallel street away from these guys and try and avoid them.
Okay. So you're going to like head off the main street now and start taking...
Yeah, take a parallel street.
Okay.
Parallel side street to the thing.
Yep.
I'll just be following Kai as fast
Yeah.
as I can.
Cool. Yeah, because I was going to say how you guys plan to keep together. So if you take side streets, things will take slightly longer to travel, but potentially will be slightly safer than on the main.
I'll tell you what I'm trying to do. Can I try and make my way to the Silver Forge?
Sure. Yeah. That's way over in the Artisan corner, right?
Yeah, Artisan's Corner is close
Artisan Way. Yeah.
to the Divine Way. It's like is it down from the Divine Way?
It's further along east, away from where the Green Griffins are. It's the easternmost way, and the Silver Forge is sort of halfway up the road towards the theatre.
Okay. Well, do I know of any shops that sell armor around here?
I don't think so. The only armor shop you know of is the coal way on the other side.
The coal.
But I mean,
and
the
then
Silver Forge would sell armor
and the
as well.
Silver Forge, but it'll be like super expensive unless they got some dodgy armor.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just make
There
my
was
way
that
parallel.
magic store as well, the Bridge of Stars, which maybe you'll be lucky.
All right. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try and hit up the Bridge of Stars. Yeah.
Cool. There's going to be about half an hour in the opposite direction of where you want to go.
Oh, it's the other way. Okay, then forget about that. Yeah, I'll make my way to the Green Griffins, or attempt to.
Okay, cool. So you can start taking some side streets. Why don't we sketch a quick map just so you guys have a concept of what things are looking like. So here's the river, shall we say, something like that. This one will be the Divine Way. This one will be the A, D, R, and this one is the Military Way. So you guys are like coming down here at this point, I think. You've just
Yeah.
come off the main streets, and
Because we need to cross the big river that we
Yeah.
swam across.
this one's the bridge. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, takes you about a bit over half an hour, so shall we say about 45 minutes, to take your way, twisting and turning down through the streets that are off the main way. But eventually you can get down to the main bridge, and you can see the river market is here up and running along the sides of the river on either side of the bridge here. The bridge itself doesn't seem to be as guarded as it was last night, but there are a few soldiers around. What would you like to do now?
I'm just wondering, do I still have those 5 sets of armor that I picked up from the Maw Breakers when they pillaged from the dead soldiers that we killed with crossbows after we blew up that ship when fighting with the Maw Breakers?
Ages ago.
Yeah, that I kept because I wanted those disguised armors.
Well, do you have the bag of holding?
No, I don't.
I would say very unlikely you'd be carrying around chainmail, 5 sets of chainmail for this long, without
true.
having it in the bag of holding.
All right. Well, then no. Fine. Cool. I will. How far am I away from the bridge?
It's in front of you. You can see it now. Just 100 feet away.
All right. 100 feet. Okay. I cast.
Do you want to cast magic this close to the...
100 feet is like. What's 100 feet? More than 30 meters, right? Where's my enhanceability? Yeah, as I'm in the, what's it called, side street, can I cast enhanceability for Charisma, Eagle Splendor, before I hop out into the main street?
Yeah. Roll a stealth check for me.
Okay,
And don't worry, I'm assuming you're just sort of chilling. You're just alongside him, holding onto his shoulder or something to make sure. Yeah.
Hoping I'm still invisible.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you've been sort of keeping a track of it, and you're smart enough to be able to do such things with these effects, you've got about 15 minutes left on the spell. Sorry, on the invis. Yeah. Great. So yeah, with the 13, you're able to sort of look around and make sure there aren't any people, directly looking at you. You've found a corner or something like that in the alleyway. Although just as you're starting to cast, you notice above you a window just pulls closed as someone may have been up there looking. But you are able to cast your spell and giving yourself advantage on charisma checks. How long does that last for?
an hour.
An hour. Nice. Alrighty.
All right, and I walk. I pretend to be like a homeless pilgrim coming from the church,
Okay.
and I walk.
A little bit like hunched over.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
and make my way, like, across the bridge.
Yep. Perfect. No one tries to stop you. Single person with a big robe, kind of looks priestly. Yeah. they appear to be looking for half folk. So as you're sort of going across, as you step out into the main street, you do see like there's a dwarf on the far side who it looks like he's been trying to repair some of the damage to one of the buildings that might have happened in the riot. Soldiers are starting to head his direction. But as you come out and you start to cross the bridge, on either side of you as you're going, the river market stretches up in both directions and on the opposite side of the river as well. And up here, you can see just at this point as you're starting to head over, you hear a voice call out across the market. And as you look in that direction, you can see this man with like a jaunty hat poking out. He's hopped up onto a vegetable box and he's just calling out to the few dozen people that are just quickly trying to go about and tend to some business in the market. You can hear him saying, "Oh, gather round, friends. Words on the wind says that there was another attack last night. Yes, another. Imperial Watch has the city locked up tighter than a miser's purse. But someone out there's got fire in their veins. Literally. They say another soldier's body blasted to ash." As he's sort of like calling out, a few people starting to look in his direction. At this last thing he says, a bunch of people like cheer, like, "Yeah, serves him right, yeah, good on him." And he's like, "Yeah, can you believe it? They're all whispering about the arsonist of Serenity Plaza, the one who set the flames a few days back. Seems he struck another blow against the Empire." At this point now, you can see a big group of soldiers have started to like head in that direction, starting to shove the crowd apart. He starts looking to get ready to go, and as he's just about to head off, he says, "Mark my words, something's stirring in the city. It's only a matter of time before it burns right through the Empire's grip, eh?" And with that, he starts running off, sort of in your direction, under the bridge.
In my direction.
Well, you guys are up on the bridge. The market's like down on the lower level, so he's running up and underneath the bridge and further up the market.
All right, I start hastily trying to get across the bridge.
Yep.
I go, "This bloody rain. I need to get home."
Yeah. Both of you, please give me a perception check as this is happening. So as you start to make your way away and this sort of disturbance occurs, chuck me a perception check.
Oh, every time. P.
Ooh, all right. Well, luckily enough, 15 was the DC. So Kai, as you see the guy, as he hops off his box, he kind of like accidentally shoves into someone and gets a bit tousled, and his hat bounces off as he runs. And you can see with 15, Duke looks very familiar. Looks to be actually the very same guy who was making a speech in Serenity Plaza a few days back when you guys stumbled across that impromptu gathering.
Oh, is that guy that John Dye cast the big nail symbol behind him?
Yeah.
Well.
Is this the guy that got blown up by the fire elementals?
Yeah, I thought he got blown up.
And yet here he is.
Guess there's more to him than we thought.
Yeah.
Alright, I take a note of that and I hastily look up the sky and put my hands towards the sky, trying to protect my face from the rain,
Yeah.
even though I've got my hood up. And I try and scuttle as quickly as I can. I'm still on the bridge, right?
Yeah. All right. Cool. Start making your way over. As you get to the far end of the bridge now, you can look up and see up on it'll be on your left now, the main support and lookout area. Completely blackened and charred. The stone has gone dark with soot, and some of the wooden supports nearby, you can see have almost burned away. One of the ropes is snapped, and there are a few people standing around just kind of looking up at it. A few people that look like artisans and a couple of soldiers. But with no problem, you can start heading across and past them. No one pays any more attention to you. All is well, and you can carry on up the causeway. After about another 5 or 10 minutes, Donda, you know that your invisibility is going to run out in the next few minutes.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's unfortunate. Are we there yet?
No, we're about an hour away.
Would they have left roughly the same time we have left?
You left?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, I suppose this is going to be a tricky one. So what would you guys think each other would do in this situation? I guess is the question we need to we need to solve without being too metagaming. I guess, right?
I would assume that the other guys would be at the Green Griffin.
Okay.
Because I have no idea where else they would go, unless they were going to the Fern Fang.
Yeah.
I would have assumed they would wait for us before I knew that the city was locked.
The original plan would have been to wait. For me, knowing that we've got to move and they're at the temple, I would probably be moving in that direction. If I want to retcon and roll back a bit, I would have probably left word at the Green Griffins that if those two idiots do turn up, send them to probably the Fur and Fang, or actually a pub's probably too public. Probably Fur and Fang's the closest we got to a safe spot.
Cool. Yeah, no, that works. That's good.
But otherwise, I would have been slowly moving towards the temple area.
Yeah. So you wouldn't go to Fur and Fang?
Probably not immediately.
It's only been a day, right? They can't carve up the whole thing properly.
The closest we've got to a safe house without imposing on the ravens, which might be a bit
Griffins.
more. Not the ravens.
Lots of flying guilds. Yeah, so
the bridge is like, if they want to come back, they'd have to cross the bridge.
We're already crossed the
Well,
bridge.
we don't have to cross the bridge, but we
maybe post up somewhere to watch the bridge to try and intercept them on the way back. Because I would assume they'd come back to the Griffins.
Okay. Yep. So Fur and Fang's down here. Griffins is up here. Yep. And now they're heading down across this way. So yeah, that's cool. So why don't we say, let's stick with Kai and Donda for now, and we'll say that the rest of you three have just sort of posted up somewhere on the street, keeping an eye out. Invisibility's about to run out. Kai, Donda, what are you guys doing?
Find a back street to appear.
Oof, you're now visible.
Good. Yeah, I guess keep going, stick to the back streets, and try and get back to where we thought the others would be.
Okay. Cool. Kai, happy with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that's great, but unfortunately,
can I put that stool on my head, under the cloak with the hood? That looks like I'm taller.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Maybe something else. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
What have you got? What have you got in your bag? I've got a blanket. I can give you a blanket, one of my blanket from the very, very beginning, and I've got a bedroll as well.
It's a very tall head and no shoulders.
Yep.
You want to pad up your shoulders with this blanket?
We can have both bedrolls on either side of the.
You're very buff dwarf. Bedroll shoulders.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm here for this. So tell me how we're going to do it. I would be happy with a performance check as a way to sort of like see how well you can perform to create a disguise like this. I'd be happy with like a dexterity check, or what do you reckon this would be? Maybe even a deception.
I mean, I'd push for a stealth with advantage.
Deception with disadvantage, maybe.
Yep.
So far.
Let's
I actually have advantage on general dexterity, so. But yeah. We'll try whatever. I would have assumed that the robes that I was given would have been for a normal sized person.
Yeah, I will say that
Yeah.
it was for a shorter human, because they didn't necessarily have a dwarf robe readily on hand. But a shorter human works okay-ish for you. It's maybe about a foot too long, so it would have dragged it on the ground a bit. But you've got a bit of room to work with. So I'll give you guys advantage on this check because both of you will be working together, I assume. So
Yeah.
what would you like to do? Just a straight dexterity or performance?
I would like to give Donda my spear and use this spear, Donda, as like a walking stick, so it makes it appear that you can't walk so fast. There's no way you would have been a suspected dwarf who is injured, or not injured, old. Just pretend to be old, to be running through the city doing stuff.
Sure. But then they were shooting crossbow bolts, so
Yeah, but they would have seen damage on your clothes. Like, you didn't get hit, only I got hit, and I repaired my clothes.
oh, that's true. They don't know you exist. They're
Mhm.
just looking for a dwarf and a mythical elk.
Yeah.
Thought about that. Okay.
You can surmise definitely that they're looking for someone who was short and cast magic. Very powerful magic as well, by the way. Fireballs are high-level magic that most people can't do. And someone who can transform into animals, and there's only one type of person that can do that.
Oh, goody. I'm both. Yeah. What do you think? Performance? Oh, I think it's the same. They're all wisdom. Yeah.
Performance, I believe, would be your charisma.
Oh yeah.
Also
Do
probably the same.
you have decent charisma?
I've got the same for deception, stealth, performance, athletics, etc.
Cool. Let's roll it. Let's see what we get. You can do it with advantage.
Oh, what am I rolling? Am I rolling something too?
Nah, Don does do it with advantage. Ooh, okay. All right. You're able to, with the help of Kai, sack up some bedrolls on the shoulders, sort of strap it together, maybe with a little bit of rope or something, stool on the head, and robe up. So as you kind of like do a little bit of a turnaround to inspect it, from the back it actually looks all right. It looks like someone maybe a little bit awkward, a bit of a weird like outline, but passing potentially from the back. As soon as he turns around, though, it's a dwarf with a stool on his head, and then the cloak pulled up. So you'd potentially struggle to fool anyone from too close up from the front. But hey, it's better than before potentially. So yeah, there you go.
And yeah, potentially.
Excellent. So yeah, that was a good idea. I like it.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Let's give this a go.
Yep. Are we heading back out into the main street, or are we going to stick to the side streets still?
I think less visibility is better. Yep.
Okay.
So side streets, I guess.
Just hold on.
What do you think?
Up. I would
You're looking
say,
for one person on the road, not two.
yeah. Let's stick together. We'll just go Main Street. But
Main Street,
as we're doing the disguise, just sit down on your stool before we attach it to your head, Donda. I'd like to pull out my decanter of water, and I'd like to pour some water on the ground, and I'd like to increase the heel height or the foot tread on his shoes by 3 inches by using shape water 3 times or twice or 3 times. I'd change the color of the water.
Does that mean I'm on ice?
No, it's I can choose the consistency. I can make it like grippy ice.
Grippy ice.
I like that.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to make him custom soles out of ice. Riv.
Okay. Like on the
Like-
bottom of his shoes.
Yeah, like grippy ice that is like 3 inches thick and
Okay.
colored black.
Okay. You can change the color?
Yeah, I can. I can
Okay,
change
okay,
color.
cool. Great. I love it.
So you're 3 inch,
You're a bit
3
taller.
inches taller.
At a quarter of a foot taller. Amazing.
And I don't want to give you like 1 foot high heels. That would just be like ridiculous.
Cool. Okay. And out we go then. Let me just make a couple of rolls. Actually, and I need... Ooh, okay. I need the other guys. I need the other guys to also make a roll for me. Valorant and Erendor. And
Let's see if they recognize
a
Dunda.
flat D20.
Just a D20.
Just a flat D20. Yeah.
A dwarf with a stool on his head.
Cool.
Sorry,
All good.
D20 each of us, or
Nope, just one. All good. Cool. All right. Well, the two of you head back out onto the main street and start heading down. Dondar, it's a little bit awkward with your higher shoes, but you get the hang of it pretty quickly. And on you go. And luckily, any soldiers you do come across currently look occupied. They're like knocking on a door up there, or you can see a small group up some side alleyway who are currently, chatting with some people. But for the most part, you're able to get past down without too much suspicion being raised. Valoran, Erendor, and Rio. You can see in the distance two figures coming down towards you. One of them appears to be a hunched over old man, and the other one appears to be a very short person with very high platforms and a stool on their head with a cloak pulled up over the top of it. What do you guys do?
I groan loudly.
what?
Gesture to the other two. Let's get these two off the fucking street before it turns to shit, shall we?
Do I notice them?
Are you how visible are you guys, Valoran?
Yeah, there's no reason for us to be hiding too much. We're not obviously standing around watching, but we're
Cool. All right.
I mean, we haven't done anything stupid, so
You can walk forward and grab them and pull them into a side alley, and here you are, reunited again.
Oh.
first thing I do is I look around, make sure there's no guards or people.
Yep, you're good.
I give them both a big slap up the back of their head.
Any damage?
No.
Roll. Does he hit? Can I dodge? I'm gonna dodge it if I can see it.
He's not trying to do damage.
Does he hit my actual head or does he hit the stool?
Oh yeah.
Well, I knocked the stool clean off. Fucking idiot.
Hey, that was a gift.
Well, thanks to you two, we've been arseholed from the Griffins. Like, we haven't been banned, but we got fucking borderline. And the entire city's now looking for your short ass.
You sure about that? They was talking about a powerful magic user.
At this point, I look him up and down and think, yeah, we're going to do this.
If anyone asks, I'll say it was a green-eared thing.
Do we still have our horses, or did we get horses? No, we got a cart.
We have cart and we have horses.
Horses and
So-
cart are at Fur and Fang.
Friend Fang.
Oh yeah, we left our cart behind with the big chicken.
And yep.
I think we need to get our cart. A couple of big sacks. Wrap this little one up here so he looks like a bag of crap. Toss him in the back of the wagon and hopefully we can get him out that way.
Dondar looks at Kai and asks, so was it worth it? What happened?
Now, in hindsight, probably wasn't worth it. But nothing ventured, nothing gained.
But hey, there's a new figurehead of the resistance.
I know
A
this.
mighty wizard with fireballs,
Mm,
melting guard.
turning them to ash. That's what I heard.
Right, well, let's not walk you down the street anymore looking like that, because that was fucking terrible and I have no idea how you didn't get caught. Someone want to go and grab the cart and horse and let them know that we'll be out for a bit? I'm going to keep an eye on these two so they don't get up to more goddamn trouble.
Cool. All right. Who would like to go?
Erendor and Right,
Yeah, I
maybe?
think if we both go.
I was going to say it's going to be us two.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll keep an eye on these two. Find somewhere corner for him to hide and kind of take a non-obvious watch.
They're only looking for one halfling. If we chop them in half, then there's two. They're not looking for two.
They're not looking for portalings, no.
Yeah, chop them in half.
I can get behind this.
See if you can pick up a few extra blankets or sacks or something on the way, and we'll wrap him up as a bundle. Hopefully they're not going to go poking sharp sticks in bundles on the way up.
Maybe that. What did we kill again? Wasn't a manticore.
Chimera.
Chimera.
Maybe we have the chimera skin. Wrap him in chimera skin like a big dumpling.
All right, cool. You two can head off down the street. Takes probably another 30 or so minutes at this point to get down there while the others are waiting back. But here you go. You arrive at the Fur and Fang. You remember you had taken the cart and the horses around the side, and there was like a small little enclosed area there that you could tie them up. And yeah, sure enough, you can kind of just see them poking out the back there. But here you are in front of the building. What would you like to do?
Are we just waiting around doing nothing at this point?
Yep.
I want to start learning Disguise Self.
Cool. What level spell is that?
Level 1.
Oh, nice. So I think that'll take 2 hours, right?
Start scribing.
Yeah, I think it's 2 hours for every level of spell. Kiwi, why don't you crack open the player's handbook on D&D Beyond and just double check that it'll be under the wizard section for adding spells to your spellbook. While we go to Erendor and Rio.
Gotta remember, I can't alt tab and talk while I'm doing what I was doing. Sorry, I've pushed the talk like 4 times. I doubt he's finished with the thing we gave him, but we might as well go talk to him, eh?
Yeah, may as well head in. Better let them know that we're not been stolen. So, we actually grab now horses and cart.
Cool.
Should we try and get as much as we can, money-wise, from this guy, from what we gave him?
I mean, how much do we trust him, and how much are we expecting to come back?
I wasn't paying attention. Vale normally does all the Valoran normally does all the talking.
Which level of the spell transaction takes 2 hours at a cost of 50 gold pieces?
Of your paper. So I think just check if you've got some paper left.
I
Isn't
don't
he
have 50.
the wizard Veronius is halved, I think?
If it's an enchantment spell, it'll be half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, I guess we go inside to the Fire and Fang. Oh, we'll knock on the door in the Fire and Fang unless it looks open.
Cool. Yeah, you knock and you don't actually get a response. You can see some lights inside though, and the door doesn't appear to be locked.
Open it, say hello as I'm opening the door.
Yeah, door opens a bit. So there's this main area out the front where you can see all the sort of display cases and stuff like that. That nice sort of wooded smell of the burning fire and the cured leathers. Empty in here, but you can hear a bit of movement coming from the back shop where you had been the day before, and some steps coming in. And you see Gara come around, and he's got shadows under his eyes, his beard, that beard shadow from the morning, and he's just sort of wiping his head yeah, okay, yeah, good to see you again. Come out the back. Got something to show you. Come on. And he sort of gestures for you to follow. Leading you back into that room again, you can see Kira, his daughter, is just sitting down in the same room as well, just asleep, head against the wall, and you can see just books and papers scrambled around in the room here, and the Chimera has been dragged inside into the sort of processing area where you can see all the tools laid out for carving and curing and all sorts. So it hasn't, at this point, it hasn't looked like it's been processed or anything like that. Like they haven't actually started doing anything, but it looks like they've spent the whole night researching. And yeah, so Gara will just turn to you and just say, "Wow, yeah, gosh, we had a long night, but we got the fire in our veins. Got all excited about this boy here." He kind of goes over to the Chimera and slaps it on the back. We've come up with a bit of a list of items that we reckon we can extract and sell. Do you want to review it?
Yeah, let's have a look.
All right. Well, first of all, he turns to you, Rio. Those tiger pelts that you had, a couple of them looks a bit damaged. You guys must have given them a bit of a fight or something, but one of them was pretty decent quality. So each pelt, I'm going to just list these off to you, not invoice, if that's okay, because we don't need to necessarily roleplay this whole thing. So 3 tiger pelts, will be 20 gold each, but for the 2 tattered ones, they'll be 10 only. So that would be 40 gold total. For the Chimera, there are 4 horns spread across both the lizard and the goat head. There is 1 fire gland from the lizard head. There are 6 fangs spread across the lizard and the lion, 8 claws, 2 wings, and 1 pelt. The price of horns are 250 each, fire glands 300. The fangs are 100 each. The claws are 50 gold each. The wings are 200 gold each, and the pelt is 200 gold each. So adding that all up would be 40 gold for the pelts from the tiger, and 2,900 gold for all of the different parts from the Chimera. So as he rattles that off, passes that over to you to consider.
Can I get that total again? 40 gold and how much?
40 gold from the tiger pelts, and then 2,900 gold from the Chimera. He says that the gold, they'll have to sell it over time. It's not the sort of thing you can just take it to the market and just sell all at once. But they will give you sort of a payment in advance and probably take a few hundred gold for themselves as just part of processing and stuff like that. So I think that they'll be willing to give you at this point 2,500 gold up front, and they would hold back 400.
Sounds good to me.
Surely you can do better. I've sold more damaged tiger pelts than that before and got twice that much.
Roll. Is it a persuasion or a deception check you're trying to do?
Not sure. I'm going to go with persuasion here, man.
I think with tiger pelts, it's very unlikely, unless you had come across saber-toothed tigers, it's very unlikely you would have gotten...
All right, deception then.
20 gold's a lot of gold. He smiles at you. It's always fun to haggle back. I have to be honest, mate. I'm a bit tired for it.
I guess bears are just worth more than tigers.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, I'll definitely take the 40 gold for the tiger pelts. Forget about the cave thing. I'm not going to be able to hang around long enough to get one.
Okay. You could leave it and come back if you like, or...
Look at Erendor. When do you reckon we'll be back next?
I don't reckon we'll be back anytime soon.
Yeah. So 2,500 for the Chimera, that's what you give us?
Mm-hmm.
You're okay with that?
Look, all I'm gonna say is that they're giving us two grand flat, and that's all the others need to know.
I didn't catch that, man. Sorry.
As far as the others are aware, we got 2 grand flat.
Oh. Yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
Oh dear. I chuck the itinerary in the chat for you guys to reference, so you can kind of see the breakdown of it. This was using a lot of inspiration from that document I sent around a week or so back.
I look at Erendor,
Nice.
I'm just like, hey, these tiger pelts, I'm going to keep that cash if that's all right.
Yeah, of course. What cash?
Okay.
Remind me not to let you go shopping on your own. Selling on your own.
Alrighty. And with that, you can get your horses and cart, and say farewell to Gara and Kira. Heading out, you find the cart is pretty busted up. You'd broken off the top of it to be able to fit the Chimera in it. So it is just open. I don't know if that bothers you or if you're happy to keep it as is.
Should we try and get some lumber and some cloth to repair this thing while we're on the way?
I mean,
Do you think we
we'll
should
try and get
mention?
some canvas for it.
Do you think we should mention Kai? Are we? We're not all together yet, are we?
No, I'm not there.
Well, let's say you are. Unless Erendor and Rio, you guys had anything else specific you guys wanted to do.
They've locked down the city.
You guys can you can all get back together with horse and cart in tow. Couple of sacks in the back as well.
City's on lockdown.
Oh,
Sounds like it.
whatever they were yelling out, the guy when we were crossing the bridge was yelling out that the city was under some sort of lockdown, potentially. And looking by the guards, yeah, they seem to be on some alert, heightened alert.
Well, that's going to make it tricky to get out. And I'll go over at Erendor. You reckon your friends would have a way out of the city that's not obvious?
Oh, so they might be able to manage something. It's got a big party to it, though.
Well, we did them a favour getting someone here, so hopefully they can do us a favour getting us out. Because I'm not convinced of my ability to talk my way out as easily as we talked our way in.
Especially not with our links to the Griffin.
Do you know how to contact your people in town? Well, you know where the ball is, don't you?
Yeah, I know where the nest is.
Well, see if we can get close without getting this little one caught and see what they can do for us. Unless anyone's got a better idea.
It's a good idea.
Cool. Excellent.
We'll toss the dwarf in the back and bury him in sacks.
Do you consent to this, Donda?
It doesn't sound like I have a choice.
True. Cool. Alrighty, you can start making your way back down along the eastern way of the causeway. Let's take a little break and we'll reconvene, figuring out what we're doing with the ravens. Cool. Any on this side of the town just before we head away? Was there anything else you guys wanted, or you're all happy to start making your way back across?
If we pass a Fletcher, I'd like to get some arrows.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd like to buy some more fine paper, obviously, if that's possible.
Cool. Arrows you can get from the coal. She.
I've forgotten the coal.
Yeah, she had just some of those sitting around. So feel free to just add them yourself and take off the cost. If you remember what that is, I think they were.
Nope.
I can tell you.
Say 20.
I always look at weapons and armor, but it's not under there. It's under equipment. All right. Arrows are 1 gold for 20, so easy peasy. So paper, fine paper for your spellbook, you'll need to get from that the magic shop over the other side, which conveniently is actually very near to where Erendor would tell you the Raven's Nest is.
That's convenient.
We
Yeah,
can
so-
park up nearby. One of us can run in while Erendor goes and sees if we can get in.
Yeah. Yeah, so Gilded Crow is here, and the Bridge of Stars is up here. Cool. Alrighty. Well.
Not a...
we're venting our stress on shit riders.
Yeah. Okay. Rolling through the city. Did you guys want to talk about the gold situation, or I don't know? Should we assume that came up, or do you guys want to roleplay that?
They should probably talk about it. They came back with a bag of gold, but we don't know that.
Yeah.
You got the bag, Arendor.
So should we just say that Arendor and Mira are coming back with the cart, and we see them coming up?
Yeah. I hear them rattling along the road towards you.
I'll wave them over since we're in a side alley, I suppose, chilling out of the rain.
Yeah, we'll head over to them.
The carriage looks kind of bunged up. I put my hand on my shield, which is my so-called casting knee, my spiritual focus, and I try and do some repairs with mending on the cart as I'm doing a once over on the cart.
Okay.
I
The
mean,
classic.
You ripped it up to put the Chimera in it.
No, it wasn't me. I'm not that strong.
All right. Well, as for the mending spell, small sections you can like touch up.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Whatever small breaks I can see.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to touch it up so it's more sturdy.
Yeah. Doesn't quite work like the Reparo spell from Harry Potter.
No,
which,
that's
by the
not what
way,
I was. No, that's not what I was thinking.
Can we talk
but-
about how broken?
Oculus Reparo.
Yeah, some of those spells in Harry Potter were absolutely busted. But anyway, let's not let's not get sidetracked on that again.
So I spend maybe the next 10 minutes or however trying to repair whatever is broken or small bits and bobs.
I am proficient with woodcarver's tools, so I'm sure I can help clean up a few of the breaks.
Yeah, so I think the main damage now that you'll find is just the top part. The covering has been broken off, and so you've got your 4 supports in the corners that are now just barren. So if you wanted to, you could probably try and find some canvas from the market, and you could get some wood and smash it together and have a rudimentary covering again.
Did we use that canvas to like bundle up the Chimera or something? Or did we keep it?
Yeah, I guess you probably would have put it down on the bed of it. There's no reason why you couldn't keep it. It's probably a bit bloody though.
Anyone got a spell that they can clean it up with?
Clean up.
No, I mean, I think it being bloody kind of fits with us. We bought it coming our own.
Or just the rain will wash it off, hey?
Sure.
Gonna get soiled again.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. Anything else?
Just my gold.
Yeah, how did you go with that? What did the Fur and Fang offer us for the Chimera?
They gave a list of breakdown of parts from the Chimera.
Can we see that list?
Just about all this, mate. We've got a few coins from the tiger pelts, but only one of them was any good. I think the total came to 2,500 gold for the rest of the time. For the Chimera, they can't sell everything straight away because who wants to buy a full Chimera? They're keeping 500. We've got 2 grand for the rest of us to split.
Insight check.
Oh god.
You have no reason to think he is lying.
I suspect everybody.
Alright. Death Mouse, Arendor, roll deception, Kai, roll insight.
I don't believe
Something
you.
seems a bit off there.
That's what he gave us.
Show us the bag.
Hold up the bag with the 40 gold that he gave me for the tiger skins. Well, yeah, that's what he gave us.
The other bag.
I don't have that one.
I look to Arendor.
And I will pull out in my bag. I have my total of 4,300 gold, including the gold I previously had.
Okay, how are we gonna divvy this up?
I mean, should
You got
we do
2
this
grand.
when we got out of town? Do we really want to muck around in town when everyone's looking for you two idiots?
No one's looking for me. It shouldn't take us that long either. We got some time to burn.
We've got 5 of us. I'll dump out the 2,000 gold pieces onto the ground beside him. Tell him to start count.
Oh my god.
I just scoop.
Jesus
You know
Christ.
what? I'm just gonna scoop up handfuls of it and just put it all in the bag. I'll do it later then. I'll just take the whole 2k.
Okay.
Just, isn't there scales in the shop? You can measure it out, can't you?
Alright.
Can I add 2k to my 2k gold to my bag?
I think, yeah, totally. I think that's what happened. Erendor dumped it, you grabbed it. Gosh.
Whatever, it's 400 each. Just divvy it up.
You want me to divvy it right now, all this gold?
You're the one that wants to divvy it up right now. I want to get the hell away from here.
Well, how about we'll compromise? We'll get away and then I'll divvy it up later.
Isn't that what I said 30 seconds ago?
Yeah, but it didn't have to dump it on the floor.
And,
Fuck this shit.
and they
Starts
never
with-
spoke of us again.
Jumps in the back of the car, disguise self to look full human. Let's just get the fuck out of here.
Okay. You can start rolling. Assuming everyone else is happy to go. Horses. Start trotting.
Well, as long as you purchase my paper.
We've got to get over to the other side of the city first.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're heading to the Artisan Way. Take a couple of hours to get there. Maybe hour and a half or so. As we're going across, I need any one of you guys to roll a d20. Ooh, okay. Cool. So heading over the bridge. You get a few looks in your direction. People are kind of a little bit, I guess, confused as to why you've got a broken cart, but times are hard, I guess, and you don't get you don't get anyone approaching you, so all good here. Crossing over to the next part of the city, over on the eastern shore, heading up the Artisan Way. Up ahead of you, the garish golden building of the Gilded Crow, and further along, further up the road, is the Bridge of Stars. What are we going to do first?
I am going to go to Gilded Crow, while the others continue on.
Cool. Arendor hops off, starts heading into the bar, and the rest of you guys carry on up. What would you guys like to do first?
We'll just pull up and then send someone in to get the paper we need.
Cool. Sweet. So, the fine paper is easy to come by, easily in store. So you can buy as much as you like. Donda. however much you need. And if there's anything else you want to do in the shop, just let me know. But otherwise, yeah, I'm happy to hand wave it. Don't necessarily need to, unless you would like to role play out another shopping session.
How much is my paper? That's
You can spend as much gold on it as you like.
Oh, so it's 1 for 1.
Yeah, like you buy it in stacks of paper. So like you might say, I want to buy 50 gold worth of fine paper, and you can tuck that away. Your transferring cost is measured in gold, so like you might need to spend 100 gold for a level 2 spell or something like that. So yeah, you can just buy as much gold as you think you'll need.
Cool. I haven't checked, but I'm just gonna buy 500.
All right, cool. Yeah, that'll keep you going for a while. Sweet. Anyone else want to buy anything or check anything in the store?
Yeah, can I check if they got any ruby dust by any chance?
Ruby dust. Yeah, let's see. Actually, you roll it for me. Roll a D100. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. There's he's got about 300 gold on stock at the moment.
All right, sweet. Can I purchase 100 gold, buy a third of his stack?
Yeah. This is Felix, by the way, that you remember from last time. The guy that you tried to cast Charm Person on.
No, it was just
Command?
it was command.
Command, yeah.
I give him 150 gold. I gotta say sorry about last time.
He how does he react to that?
Did he remember?
Oh yeah, he definitely remembered. You know what? He's charming and enigmatic. He says, water under the bridge. But I'm sure you've learned your lesson, haven't you? Honestly, I'm actually a little bit bewildered at the balls on you. Coming into a magic store and trying to cast magic on the proprietor. Gosh, there's definitely one that I haven't heard in all my years. Boy.
Well, I thought I might try a trick or two. Lesson learned.
Fair
the hard
enough.
way.
Indeed.
Well, thank you for the ruby dust.
Thank you for the laughs.
Well, hopefully everything blows over soon. The city is looking pretty bad shape.
His face darkens a little bit. Yeah, it's been a bit bad for business. But we'll see. Sounds like there has been some exciting times recently. Maybe things are starting to turn. And he gives you a mysterious look. And then smiles again and goes back to his business.
Interesting. Yeah, may Saloon watch over you these dire times. And I walk out.
He does actually turn and say, I'm sorry, what did you say? As you start to head out, do you carry on out or?
I just say, the moon goddess watches over us always. And I do a cheeky grin and I turn around and I walk.
Okay, you leave him looking very. He has narrowed eyes looking at you. You said something that certainly caught his interest, but you're out.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Great. You're back out on the street. Excuse me. All right. Well. Interesting. Shall we go over to Erendor?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Do it.
What are you doing, Erendor?
I go to the counter and I throw the raven pin that I have inside my book.
Did you say you show the raven pin?
Yes.
Okay. This is a woman, Lady Marielle, that you would have heard last time. She kind of just like looks at it and then quickly gestures for you to hide it, and just like shakes her head a bit. Gestures for you to like lean forward. Are you new around here?
Yeah.
Look, you don't want to be just flashing there out in the middle of nowhere. She's whispering this very quietly. Didn't they tell you the phrase you gotta say to get past?
Does he remember?
They did tell you
It
the
was
phrase.
mentioned. It was mentioned once.
Deafmouse, would you yourself like to roll an intelligence check to see if Riv can remind you?
Do you want me to give you a hint?
You're not there.
No.
We're not there, man.
That's true. That's
Erendor would have heard this a few days ago, so Deafmouse, if you can't remember, more than happy to allow him to roll a intelligence or history check.
Yeah. I am completely blanking on what it was. Investigation? Oh, sorry, no, intelligence or...
Yep, intelligence or history. History will just mean if you've got proficiency, but yeah. Okay, good. The phrase was, I'll have one of your sharpest drinks.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a while back.
It's a bit cheesy. That's probably the way to remember it. But hey, we live in a cheesy world.
Yep.
Anyway, Erendor has a blast of memories.
And I'll ask for one of the sharpest drinks.
She she just sighs, gestures with her head over her shoulder, palm to her forehead, and go, oh, honestly, these days. And you're free to walk on past into the back room. You can go down into the cellar, find the two giant kegs, find the switch underneath that that you were shown, and when you pull it, the door at the back opens up, and down you go. Let me grab my notes for this place. All right, cool. So yeah, the stairs go down. There's the little antechamber at the start with a couple of people that are in there. As you come in, they just stand up and go, like, because they don't immediately recognize you. But after sort of, you can throw your hood back a little bit and just show them they do recognize you eventually, as you'd been in here a few times before. And they will open the door for you, and you can be led back into this main chamber, which has the little river flowing down the center. You're inside. Where would you like to go?
I would first like to ask anyone if they know where Yarrick is.
Yeah. He'll be in the same room that you
Same room?
yeah.
Yep. I will just go to the door and very quietly knock. And
Yeah. The door is actually open. There's a woman in here who's just come in and is tending to a few things, like putting some water out on a tray on a nearby table and just like straightening up a few things, and she's getting up and ready to head back out, and she sees you. I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Can I help you?
I'm Yarrick's son. Just come to
Well, yeah, he's resting at the moment. He hasn't been well. We're doing the best we can, but he sleeps a lot these days.
If he's resting, I'll leave him at the
Yeah, he's a tough old bugger, this one. If you like, we can try to wake him up if you've got something urgent to talk to him about.
Nothing urgent. If he's resting, then I'll leave him at.
Okay. He's past you, leaving you in the room. All right. So, did you say you were going to just leave him for now?
Else? You were breaking up a little bit before.
Just dropped.
Oh no. Oh no. Our way out of the city.
He hasn't DC'd yet. While Mouse is doing that, are we still all on the carriage?
I assume you guys are probably just sort of mingling outside the magic store. Unless you would like to go anywhere else, yeah, up to you.
We might as well head back down to the Golden Crow. Do they have a stable of sorts?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. There's plenty of hands around. You can see at this stable there's like very nice big carts already here. It's very much a tavern for nobles and powerful people. And the artisans in the area.
Yes, I've just changed over to Discord on my phone. My laptop was struggling hard.
Okay.
Sort of could tell. I could barely tell what you were saying for a while there.
Yeah, so I'm not going to wake him. What I will do though is leave a note for him with illusory script. Very simply, I don't know many people in the Ravens. I don't know who I can trust yet.
Yeah.
Just a relatively basic note of that we're leaving, we don't know when we'll be back, and I will do what I can to keep in contact. And that I forget, is it the governor for this town, for the city?
Yeah, Governor. Do you mean Governor Tylus?
Yeah, that was the name. He's probably one of the only people that can semi-directly contact us for a while.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So this is this in your thieves' cant?
This is using the illusory script.
Ah, that's one of your trickster spells, is it?
Yes.
Cool.
Designated creatures being Yarrick and the nest.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. That's Master?
Oh, do you mean Thaddeus, the master?
Thaddeus.
Yeah. Cool. You and any creatures you designate. Oh, that's really cool. Cool. So, I will be happy to hand wave this, but just a note for now, and actually for everyone as well, please listen. Keep an eye on your spells that ask for components that have a gold cost, because you need to actually have that component. So in this case, it's saying you want a lead-based ink worth at least 10 gold, which gets consumed. So you actually wouldn't need to have that ink on hand. I'm happy to have hand waved it. Like, you could have just easily bought that at the magic shop or whatever the other day. But yep, just good one to keep note, especially moving into the next few levels, because once we get to level 4 spells, that's when things start getting expensive. Actually, even third level sometimes can be quite expensive. But cool, I've done that. I've written down the note.
Then I will like to speak to Thaddeus.
Cool. Yeah, you can find him in his main chambers at the head of the area. You can find if you recall at the very far end of the chamber, there's like a waterfall that splits into two halves, and there's a door in the very center of the two waterfalls, and behind that is where he will be, and you can head on through there. The door itself isn't locked or anything, and yeah, he's just in there at the moment, and currently he's at his desk, but he's sort of sitting back, just staring up at a bookcase, very much lost in thought as you walk in.
Hey, you're from Modern Trading.
Ah, Erendor. Yeah, come in. What can I help you? What can I help you with?
Well, you always seem to know. I do come to you with a favor, and also to return your horse. Thank you very much for letting me borrow that.
Ah, yeah, of course. No problem.
With the city in its current state, getting in, getting out seems to be quite difficult. My party and I are needing to get out of the city very soon, hopefully. There were some late night antics last night. I won't be surprised if you're aware of them, including the dwarf. Don't encourage him if you see him, please. It is hard enough to deal with as it is. As humorous as it is, I don't want to encourage him. We need to get out of the city, and we want to be heading north rapidly.
Yeah, cool. So he's sort of like, as you start talking, he's still looking a bit distracted. And as you mentioned, the antics last night, he sort of like snaps to attention and starts listening more clearly, and a bit of a smile curls up his face, and he nods. Ah, yeah. I had a feeling that might have been you guys based on your reputation, but well, getting out of the city. Yes, sorry. I've got a lot on my mind at the moment, but we can talk about that at the moment. Let's first get to your problem. Getting out of the city. Well, certainly a few options. Assuming you're coming to me because you don't just want to go through the main entrances for aforementioned reasons.
Yes.
Have you considered just mounting the walls themselves? I assume potentially that's also too risky. Otherwise, you would have considered that already.
If you know how to get a horse and a carriage to climb a wall, then I'll be all ears. Otherwise, we could always attempt to have one or two people go out with the carriage. But
I mean, there are
not a bad idea.
There are a few other options. There's a man we use sometimes when we're trying to get things out of the city. The fisherman is what we call him. You can find him usually docked down by the river market around this time of the day, midday-ish. Holdar is his name. He'll take you out of the city if you cough up enough gold. Depending on his mood of the day, could be a few hundred or more. Just find him, say that you're looking for a quick crew, and he'll get you out. But if you aren't looking to lose any of your gold, there's always the underrun. I'm sure you might be aware that beneath the city there's a vast network of sewers. The river itself has quite cleverly been constructed to flow into the sewer and wash waste out of the city underneath into deep reservoirs far beyond the city walls. We know a few tunnels you can take to get out, but if you do wish to go that way, you might run into the problem with the cart again. And I would have to warn you that sometimes, what shall we say, not very savory things like to crawl in those dark places, crawl in from out of the city and take refuge in the in the dark places beneath the city. But it's always another option.
Your input is greatly appreciated. Honestly, we hadn't even thought of going over the wall.
Could be risky. There's often guards walking. Yeah, I guess you got a few options ahead of you. You can risk the main gate, cough up a few gold, get the fishermen to take you out, or risk the tunnels beneath the city. Sounds like most of these you're probably going to have to struggle with your cart, though.
I'll see how attached the others are this time, because, hey, I mean, it's useful for carrying chimeras, but other than that...
Well, great. Now...
Was there anything I could help you with? You seemed a bit lost in thoughts.
Can you tell me what you know about the girl? Did she say anything to you on your travels?
You mean Leah?
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot that she said. She kept to herself almost the entire time when she wasn't trying to pickpocket my dagger.
That sounds right.
I take it you're not surprised by that.
Well,
Yeah.
let me tell you what's been going on. I'm at a bit of a crossroads, honestly. I haven't been a while since I've had such a decision, to be honest. I'm sure you've heard of the break-in at the Bastion, and you must have put two and two together that it was us.
I have heard rumors, and I figured that was probably the group behind.
Well, that was Leah's big job. That was the main reason why she came with us, actually. We needed someone who could get into a very, very tricky place. She was perfect. A small garbage disposal chute on the side of the thing. No one else could fit through. Look, I won't bore you with the details. However, what it will tell you about, once the rest of the Ravens were able to get inside, Leah was supposed to head back out, but she was nowhere to be found. The others carried on, as I'm sure they did have no other options at the time to continue their mission, which was to steal as much information on the Empire as possible and spread it around the city. Turns out, Leah had her own little mission. She snuck into the general's quarters and tried to cut his throat. I'm surprised she even managed to get out alive. If he wasn't such a, stout, hardy man, I imagine she would have finished the job, but I'm in a tricky situation now, Erendor. It's very difficult for me to trust the girl.
Understandable.
Difficult to trust a girl who was given explicit orders. We weren't there to kill anyone. We were in and out. That was the mission. Often, Ravens usually stand the order until they die or retire when they're too old to carry on. In some cases, we might have to execute a Raven if they become too dangerous to trust. I don't feel good about executing an 11-year-old girl. And he just winks your eyes and just leaves that hanging.
There may be another option if he is removed from the Raven and placed into my care. What assurances would I have to make you?
Well, the thing is, I need to be able to trust that our secrets can be kept secure. Someone of that age who follows their own path, shall we say? Pretty difficult to ensure that they keep the secrets they know to themselves. Look, we don't need to make any decisions right now. Just ponder it. She's not going anywhere. We're not going to take her out on any more jobs. She's going to stay here for now while I decide what to do with her. Maybe she can convince me herself that we should keep her around. But how about yourself? Why don't you take this away as well and consider some options?
I'll keep this in mind. I can't say that I had any real indication that this would occur.
I was exactly the same. I thought she was definitely an up-and-comer. She excelled in all of the training she went through. She was beating people twice her age in some particular tasks. It's just, she didn't mention anything to you about why she wanted to just do this, kill the general?
Outside of being note to the note taker, was there anything? Because that was a long time ago and I can't remember.
There may have been something.
She had alluded to her parents being killed back in Kamar. I think that was probably about all that you guys had spoken about. Well, anyway, we'll see how we go. We'll ponder it. No hard and fast decisions for now. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Nothing at the moment. Thank you.
Great. Well, hey. Good luck. Good luck getting out of the city. Maybe try not to cause as much of a stir as the lads did last night, eh? Or, on the flip side, maybe do. Can't say that I wasn't excited to hear about it. It's just what the city needs right now is some show of resistance.
I mean, this is true. This is true. How many separate places can we get nails up at the same time?
Are you seriously asking? Because probably quite a few.
I don't know if I should.
All right.
Maybe a question better answered another time.
Yeah, maybe one for the drawing books. All right. Anyway, good luck, Arendor. I hope to see you again. And just know we're taking good care of your father as much as we can. He has actually asked for you a couple of times when he's come to, but I'll let him know you drop by.
Thank you.
All right, excellent. Would you like to head out or anything else you want to do here?
I will head out.
Cool. Right. Perception check for me as you're going. Walking down past the river, stream, shall we say. Great, yeah. You can make your way out nice and easy and head back up the stairs. And out to meet the rest of your friends. You give the patron Marielle a nod on your way past, and you are back out into the drizzling rain. It's about midday, and further along the street, you can see the rest of your companions in the cart.
I will walk over to them.
Cool. All right, guys, what's the plan?
Back at the cart?
Yep.
Okay.
We've
There's
got-
not a whole lot the Ravens can do specifically for us right now. Being given a few options, a few thoughts on ways we can get out of the city. There's the tunnels under the city, the sewers. Don't really like the sewers.
Very moist today.
Creepy crawlies, especially with the rain at the moment. Not super nice. There's a potentially rather expensive way out via a boat in the harbour. Alternatively, there's the gates. Some of us through the gates, some of us potentially not through the gates, some of us maybe over the wall. It kind of depends. We could otherwise, depending on how much of a ruckus we wanted to make, if we can draw some of the gate guards away, you know, a fireball set off into the distance and a nail set up, a nail illusion created again as we're heading towards the gate. It'd be tight timing.
Yeah, it'd be very tight. Especially since we've got a cart.
I'll be honest, I don't give a shit about the cart. The only reason I'm holding on to it at the moment is to hide our little problem.
Yes.
Um,
We would prefer to load the cart up with produce and bury the little problem. And if they live, they live, and if they don't, they don't. And if they're caught, then what's this stowaway doing in our cart?
We know what. There's a river running through the city. What's at the end of the river?
The Gulf of Muriel. Big river. If you have a look at the
Just
map.
goes out to sea.
Yeah,
There's
have a
no
look at the
barrier.
So there are actually. I don't think you would know. You wouldn't have explored that far down. Ooh. Let me double check. Where the Rivers Watch is. Rivers Watch is actually quite far down, so you probably would have seen. There are docks all the way along the southern shore of the city. There is no big gate or anything like that, which covers the exit of the river into the main area. But the docks are like quite, usually quite manned. So most ships would be kind of visible heading out by people.
Oh, that could be one option.
Personally, I'd rather do it quietly. Any noise means they're going to pursue.
Well, quiet means the boat, the sewers,
or the sewers.
or the gates, and some fast talking from our friend.
I think we burned up our fast talking on the way in.
Exactly.
Seen them scanning down anyone. I would not be surprised if they've got their magical detection wands over every card on the way out.
Who knows? They might have some big magical things, not just potable hand ones at the gates, potentially.
Yes.
From how big is the wall? I'm sure we've seen the wall. We've come in and out of it a few times.
Yeah, it's usually around 25 to 30 feet high.
Holy crap. I don't
Not
think
too
we have
bad.
enough climbing tools to climb up.
No,
All of
25,
us.
25, 30 feet's nothing. That's like 10 meters.
The thing is, who needs to get out that way? The
Most-
dwarf is the only one, really. And you know
And
what the
who-
dwarf can do?
And who's the only one that can fly?
Exactly.
Might be our best bet. Send him over at night in the dark, and we'll head out our way.
Alright. Sound. And that way we can keep the cart if people are still attached to the cart.
If the rest of us can get through the gate,
Does anyone have any idea what those one things are that they're using?
No.
If they neutralize magic, my disguise self won't work, so...
Well,
Well,
they're neutralized. I think they're just detecting, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. They shouldn't know what I look like, just apart from my height. So I imagine it's some sort of detect magic.
Mhm.
But I don't know if that would even work on me.
I would just remind you that you have a runa in your forehead, your arcane focus embedded, which would definitely pick up magic.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a magic object?
Yeah.
Of course it is, right? Yeah, that'd do it.
It can be dislodged, but there'll be there's like a little slot where it essentially clicks into, and every child of the Dwarven Arcanist school gets a slightly different design. They kind of customize it themselves, so only your runa can fit in your slot, but you can pop it out, so it might not be detected then, but it would be fairly obvious that you've got kind of a hole in your forehead. So yeah, it's just options.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, the whole having the mark on the forehead that we've discussed in this world, has that become a thing?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, and
okay,
so
thank you.
Yeah,
I
because
just wasn't sure if I'd stumbled on something else or. Okay.
No, I just sort of wrote it in because you like the idea of it, and I thought it was cool, and also
Nice.
the whole being able to pop it out thing. Having a permanent arcane focus is a bit overpowered. You need to be able to have your arcane focus taken away from you. You know, if you're thrown in prison or something like that.
Fair.
So it's removable. Yeah. So I kind of I like the idea that there's an arcanist school inside Glimmerforge, and every dwarf that goes through the school will craft their own runa, spelled like this, R-U-H-A-R, with some like accents above one of the letters, I think, accent above the A.
Well, we could try a split and some through the gate, but given the security they had, which all went to shit, and they probably would have ramped it up since then, we've got a short one that doesn't want to be seen, a skinny one that doesn't want to be seen, one that doesn't like being seen in general.
There's a lot of unseen.
Personally, I wouldn't want to run into them too many times. They might look a bit too closely.
How about let's?
It's a bit of a
I'd
thing
rather
actually with you guys, isn't it? Bloody hell.
I'd rather just ditch the cart
Let's
and leave en masse in silence if we can.
All right.
I'm
Let's
happy
leave them.
to go for the wall if we think we can do that quietly at night. There will be guard patrols and all that sort of shit we'll have to dodge. Or we could give the tunnels a whirl.
I
Not the
like
cleanest
tunnel.
escape, but
Not
will
cleanest,
be a
but
clean escape.
be quiet. All right. How about we roll? Let's roll.
If we want to escape together as a group, I'd say the tunnels sound like the best idea. Most of us have dark vision anyway, so at risk of encountering a massive magical creature.
Wall or the hole. Flip a coin.
Yeah,
Roll a
someone
D2.
roll a D2. Someone roll a D2.
Wait, before you roll it though, which is which?
Tunnels is 2. Wall is 1. Wall 1. Wall 1. Tunnels 2.
You guys don't want to spend any gold?
Wall it is. We're going the wall.
Alright.
Guess we'll make our way towards the northern wall. It's probably getting later in the day.
Yeah, it's probably about midday now. So let's
Travel time is long.
let's talk about this. So are you guys gonna just go for it now? Are we gonna do a bit of scouting now, or are we gonna wait till evening?
Can we scout it and then wait till evening?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Well,
I guess, yeah.
So we can see what we're looking at.
am I talking myself into trouble if I say, I imagine they are still searching the city.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the longer we're here, the more danger we're in.
Correct.
We want to be out quick. We've already taken this tinderbox, set it on fire, and then shoved it full of fucking firewood and fireworks. So.
All right, cool. Let's do it. Let's go check it out. Someone in the game, please roll a d20 for me.
Do it, Erendor. Erendor.
All right.
These mystery rolls are like amazing. Like, what are we gonna get?
So this is an interesting one because you're heading up the. Why don't we jump back over here?
Yeah, where are we?
We're trying to head upstream, right?
Yeah, you're heading up this direction. Oh gosh.
Well, I guess we want.
Is there gates in the northern wall?
There are
Or
not.
a northern wall?
No. So there is a wall that surrounds the entire city. The main gates are here and here. So you could travel up the Artisan Way and check out the wall up there.
They get real fancy up that part of town, though, don't they?
Yeah, this is the Theatre of Dreams, one of the massive structures here. There would usually be a lot of people. There's probably a performance on tonight, but there are not lots of people, and there is not a performance tonight because of the state of the city. But a rickety cart heading through this part of town is probably going to draw a bit of attention.
I mean, I could just fireball in the opposite direction, and we just run away with everyone else.
And then they chase people out of the city, but they're mounted on horses, and while we have a slow cart. We don't want to draw attention as we run, because we will get run down. We want to be going quietly.
Alright, at this stage, I look at Dondar's feet, and those ice blocks should have melted by now.
Unless you
We don't have to
wanted
go northern wall. We can go over like eastern wall, but we just want to. How far are we from the wall going up this way?
It's probably so you would have been somewhere around this area in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's probably actually 15-20 minutes to get to the theatre, and then the wall is kind of just behind that.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as we find somewhere on the wall where we can get up and over that's away from guard towers and patrols. Do we know what the terrain is like outside the city?
It's pretty flat. Yep, it's all flat grasslands here.
That's a worry.
Yeah.
Once we get over, it's going to be pretty obvious that there's people walking away across a big open field for quite a visual distance.
However, with only 2 gates, they're going to be hard pressed to chase us.
You know, other than the fact that they most likely have mounted guards.
and crossbows. Remember crossbows? And I point at my butt.
We're not going to talk about that.
Shall we say that? Let's do this. So you guys wanted to go and scout, right? Just to kind of check it out. Why don't we say that you abandoned the cart in an alleyway or something, and you were able to just kind of walk through the streets, get there just to look at it, just so that you guys don't spend a lot of time sort of umming and ahhing about it. So yeah, in this part back here, the walls are a bit taller, just because of the nature of the terrain here. So you're looking at about 30 feet up. It's got your typical sort of armaments along, and there are towers, not like a tower built on top of the wall, but just sort of like an enclosed little lookout tower every sort of 400 feet or so, probably from the looks of things. Maybe in some places it might be a little bit further. So kind of if you were to look around, you could probably find a section of the wall that has like a good distance between, like probably at max 500 to 600 feet between these little lookout areas. And there are guards patrolling. Maybe there might be, I think, probably 2 guards just patrolling in each one of these stretches of wall. And you can sit there and watch and suss out their timings and stuff like that.
Access to the wall is only via towers, or are they the stairs?
Correct, yeah. Towers, stairs that lead up the towers themselves. Yeah.
Figured. Tunnels are looking more and more attractive.
I know, the more time we wait, the higher chance of getting caught. Maybe if we just head underground, we can still make progress as the sun is still up.
Yeah, no one can see us go underground.
Just the fact that we go up over, there's a risk of detection, and then once we hit the other side, we've got a lot of open ground to cover while they're looking out, and there's 0 places to hide. We'll get seen for sure.
And they got heavy crossbows. Heavy crossbows shoot pretty far, from experience.
Well, best case will be on foot, and they'll have mounted chasers. Probably mounted chasers wearing plate armor and with red cloaks flapping behind them.
Yeah. Alright, I think best decision right now, since it's just past midday, is to head to the tunnels.
How do we get to the tunnels?
Yeah. That's a good question. You'll need a raven to take you to navigate through the underrun. But easy enough. Happy to hand wave that and go and grab one, and we can head down if you guys like.
Can I hit up a shop?
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
it's on the way.
Yep, what you looking for?
Let me bring it back up. Mistletoe, spruce, and powdered corn extract and parchment.
Sounds like a Christmas dinner.
You're looking for
Spell components for pass without trace and rope trick.
yeah.
Because my other spells are just verbal.
Wait, does it consume them?
Well, DM literally just said we need to make sure we have components.
Only if they use gold.
If it's got a gold
If
cost.
they use,
only.
oh, if it's got a gold cost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, these don't have a gold cost.
yeah. That
Disregard.
means you can reuse them.
All right, never mind then.
Cool. I think, what does rangers use for their spell casting? Do they
Their
have
bow. Their bow.
I don't think they really have a focus.
I don't have a focus, no.
they have a component pouch or something?
Yeah, there is component pouch. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I need components for pass without a trace and rope trick. All my level 1 spells don't require components.
They have components, but they're not a gold cost component.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, even my level 2 ones don't have a gold cost against them. It's ashes from a burnt leaf of mistletoe and a sprig of spruce for pass without a trace.
Yeah.
And
So every single
powdered
spell
corn
in the game.
extract and twisted loop of parchment for the other one.
Every single spell in the game has a component, but they're usually hand waved away as you've got a component pouch. It's only if the component has a noted gold cost that you need the specific item.
Oh, well then do you want me to buy a components pouch thing so I don't have one of them in my inventory?
Or arcane focuses can be used in place of material components, but I'm just reading through the ranger. It doesn't say you need a focus or a pouch.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I don't have an arcane
Yeah,
focus.
magic men without needing to do
Yeah, it
magic.
just says by the time you reach level 2, you've learned to use the magical essence to cast spells. Oh, much as a druid does. Does that mean you need a druidic focus?
Druids have a focus.
Official ruling, let's see. Yeah, The ranger doesn't have a spellcasting focus. The trusted component pouch will do the job.
Alright.
All right.
Actually pretty cheap.
Yeah, I mean, we can easily say that you bought that ages ago.
And most of the bits
Yeah.
are like scavenged items anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Which are usually, when you actually look at what they are, a bit of a meme.
Yeah, it's really pretty funny. Just cross off 25 gold for the component pouch, and we'll just say that you had that a while back when you leveled up.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you how much.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Long strider, the component is a pinch of dirt. You just rub a bit of dirt on it.
Nice.
If you look at most of the spells, there is actually a bit of a joke behind what the other components are. Like
Yeah.
Bane is a drop of blood. Stuff
Nice.
like
Yeah.
Look at what fireball
Hey,
is.
but if
that. Fireball is batshit.
Yep.
Guano, which
Yeah.
is
It's batshit crazy.
potassium nitrate, which is a component of gunpowder.
Yeah.
if you're in a desert, there might not be any dirt.
That's true.
It'd just be sand.
Okay, cool. So, at this point, Erndor will probably need to go and grab a raven, which is easy enough to do. Someone is happy to come and show you the way. Do you guys want to do the underrun now, or would you like to save that for next time? Just cognizant it's starting to get a bit late.
It'll probably be a bit of a thing, I would guess. And I'm going to imagine you don't have a dungeon crawl prepared.
What do you mean? I actually do have a dungeon crawl prepared. Not that there's going to be a dungeon. I've got stuff prepared. Don't you worry.
Sure.
But it's going to be fine. There won't be any problems. You'll just get straight through.
Which is going to take a long time.
Fireball under the city. All you hear is boom, boom, boom.
Hey, fireball doesn't make sound.
Oh, it doesn't.
Weirdly.
But yeah, no, in all seriousness, happy to keep going if you guys want to, just considering we haven't had heaps of time playing lately. Or alternatively, very happy to pause here as well.
Well, we haven't killed anything recently, so it'd be ideal to not get into a dungeon.
I would go a bit longer, but I definitely need coffee break.
How do
Yeah,
I
I'm not
add
far
something
from
again?
food arrival.
Say again, JC. We cut off.
How do I add something again?
You want to go to the compendiums on the far.
Yeah, compendiums, D&D, SRD content,
Yeah.
items and spells, items,
Mhm.
components pouch, but I can't just drag and drop it into my inventory.
Should be able to.
Oh, really? You should be able to.
Do you already have one?
Then you'll have two. Making that.
Oh, they show at the top. I've got like fucking 5 of them now.
Nice.
I'm looking at it in the list. I'm like, equipment, no. Consumables, no. Loot, tools, no. Scroll up. Oh shit, there's like 5 icons there.
Yeah.
Cross off 125 gold.
Delete the duplicates.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, I need a last D20 roll as we go to make our way out of the city. Assuming you guys roll in consensus to carry on, or was it consensus to stop and?
Still
Can
stopping
keep
for the
going.
night, right?
I'm good for whatever.
My food is expected to arrive soon-ish.
Okay. Cool. Let's pause then, hey guys. Food coming. I'm honestly getting a bit tired as well.
I just realized ops started 15 minutes ago.
Oh, nice. Is this still Ravens?
Ravens. Yep.
Yeah. Good on you for keeping on playing that game, eh?
That game. It is my life.
I love it. I want it to be good, like all of us do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
One
probably
day
not
they'll-
going to come back until the Honorary Emerald merge.
Yeah. One day they'll drop PlanetSide 3 and we'll all be like 70 years old.
I started playing on Miller though. It's a good time. There's lots of pot, way more than Celtic,
Nice.
and earlier.
I can handle Connery latency, but after that, it's not just the latency, but the packet loss is what gets me. We'll be playing along, and then everything will just lag out glide.
Yeah.
I can handle steady low ping, but packet loss drops kill me.
Yes. Lasso.
Oh, you just saw?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Vision.
Oh, actually true. That's actually Galaxy Brain. Maybe not quite that destructive when you need to pull it out though.
Oh, speaking of destructive, people have watched Secret Level.
Oh, are you
only the only the 40k one.
Secret level 40k? Is that what you're talking reference?
Just in general, the whole season.
Oh, I haven't watched the whole season.
It's on my to watch after I finish Arcane. Yeah.
I've only watched the 40k.
The D&D one it's okay.
I heard it was
Like
good.
amazing end of the world, but it's well animated, looks good. There's a few references you go, oh, that's cool, that's the thing. There's a Crossfire one which is pretty meh. The one for Lost World, even though they have Arnie as the voice actor, is pretty meh. Rest of them, all fucking peak. The Pac-Man one, some people are divided on, just because it's so fucking crazy.
I heard that the Sony one was a bit odd. It was just like the one that just had a bunch of like Sony characters in it.
Oh, that's probably
Sonic.
I
I don't know. People were just saying it's basically a Sony advertisement and not really a story.
I don't know that one.
Yeah.
The final one, which was Armored Core, and they had Keanu. Story was but there was a few moments that were like fucking awesome, especially if you had anything to do with Armored Core.
Hey, just confirming we're calling it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Nice.
keep